Greetings, guys. Today I'll be discussing a topic under college algebra or algebra, which is about radicals. So this tutorial video is part of Project Vespertine. Project Vespertine is an online video tutorial series initiative of PICE MLQU or the Philippine Institute of Civil Engineers, Manuel L. Quezon University Student Chapter. The project aims to cater students' concerns on civil engineering subjects with difficult topics such as engineering mathematics, surveying, transportation engineering, hydraulics, geotechnical engineering, structural engineering and design, and construction engineering and management. So for this discussion, I'll be following this outline. So first, I'll discuss the concept and definition of terms, followed by the formulas and equations, and last, the sample problems. So concept and definition of terms. So first we define what is a radical. A, a radical is an expression that uses a root such as square root or cube root. The symbol used to express a radical is called a radical sign. Next is radicand. A radicand is a number or expression inside the radical symbol. Next, we have index. Index is the number which indicates which root is desired of the number or expression under the radical. So for example, we have here the ninth root of x. X is what we call the radicand and 9 is what we call the index. So as you can see, the index is located in the upper left portion of the radical symbol. Next part is we discuss the law of radicals. So kung meron tayong tinatawag na law of exponents, when we're dealing with exponents or problems involving exponents, meron tayong law of radicals for problems involving radicals naman. So the first law or the first rule is the nth root of xy is equal to the product of the nth root of x and the nth root of y. For letter B, we have the nth root of x over y is equal to the nth root of x over the nth root of y. For letter C, we have y is equal to x raised to 1 over n. So this equation is in exponential form. But if we wish to transform this into radical form, we simply uh, we simply put the base sa loob ng radical symbol and we put a radical sign and the denominator doon sa ating exponent, since ang exponent natin is fraction, yung denominator doon is magiging index. And then yung numerator naman is magiging exponent ng ating base. So in this case, ang numerator natin is 1 doon sa fraction na exponent. So x raised to 1 is the same as x. And for letter D, we have x raised to m over n is equal to the nth root of x raised to m. And it is also equal to the quantity n or the nth root of x raised to m. For letter E, we have the mth root of the nth root of x is equal to the mnth root of x. And for letter F, we have the square root of AB is equal to the square root of A times the square root of B. So para mas maintindihan niyo yung law of radicals, meron ako ditong example. So the cube root of x is also equal to x raised to 1/3. Since kapag tinignan natin yung rule C o yung law of radicals for 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 the equation involving exponential form. So pwede natin tong i-transform. So we simply copy the base and then kung ano yung exponent ng ating base, yun yung nasa numerator part ng ating exponent. And then yung denominator naman ng ating exponent is yung index. So, let's say, transform ko siya from radical form and then exponential. So, kapag ni-raise ko yung buong term to the third power, so mapapansin nyo, when I multiply 3 doon sa 1/3, ang magiging exponent na ng ating term is x. Or I'm sorry, ang magiging exponent na niya is 1. So, maka-cancel out or may eliminate natin yung radical. So, kung gusto nating ma-eliminate yung radical ng isang term, we simply raise it to a certain degree, and yung degree na i-apply natin is the same as kung ano yung index natin. Okay. So for the first problem, we are tasked to solve for x from the given equation. So, ang technique dito para ma-eliminate or para ma-solve nyo yung value ng x, you eliminate first the outermost radical. In this case, ang outermost radical natin is yung radical symbol na may index na 4. So, again, para ma-eliminate nyo siya, you simply raise both sides of the equation to the fourth power. So, ang mangyayari is may eliminate natin yung radical symbol na may index na 4. And yung right side naman, kung ano yung expression or term na nasa right side will be raised to the fourth power. So, we simplify this. 2 raised to 4 is actually 16, and 16 divided by 8 is 2. So, ang matitira sa right side natin is 2. And the next step for this is we eliminate the outermost radical again. Kasi na-eliminate na natin yung outermost radical kanina na may index na 4. Ngayon, ang index naman ng ating bagong outer radical ay 3. So, we raise both sides to the third power. And ang matitira na lang sa left side is 2 square root of 8x. And then, yung right side natin will be raised to the third power. So, 2 raised to 3 is equal to 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So, 4 na lang yung matitira sa right side. And para makuha natin yung value ng x and para ma-eliminate na natin yung radical symbol, so we raise both sides to the second power. And we have 8x is equal to 4 raised to 2. And 4 raised to 2 is equal to 16. So, para makuha natin yung value of x, 16 divided by 8, and we have the final answer as x is equal to 2. For the second problem, we are tasked to transform the fraction by rationalizing the denominator. So yung pag-rationalize is a process para ma-eliminate yung radical symbol. So ang gagawin natin is we have to eliminate the radical symbol na nasa denominator. So para rationalize natin yung denominator, we have to multiply the conjugate binomial of the denominator. So ano ba yung tinatawag nating conjugate binomial? So let's say we have this denominator. Ang ating denominator is x minus square root of x squared minus 4. Para makuha natin yung conjugate binomial ng denominator, we simply get the opposite operation sa denominator. So ang operation natin dito sa given denominator is subtraction. Para makuha natin yung conjugate binomial, we get the addition operation. So, ganito siya. So, from subtraction, naging addition. And we have to take note, kapag nag-rationalize tayo ng denominator, we multiply the conjugate binomial sa numerator and sa denominator. So, ito yung ito yung bago nating expression. And we simplify this by multiplication. So 4x multiplied by x is 4x squared, and 4x multiplied by square root of x squared minus 4 is 4x square root of x squared minus 4. Sa ating denominator, kung mapapansin nyo, halos parehas lang yung terms. Yung terms sa given denominator and yung ating conjugate binomial. So, ang gagawin natin dito is we simply multiply the first term of our denominator doon sa first term ng ating conjugate binomial. So that is x multiplied by x, and we have x squared. And then the next part is we multiply the second term of our denominator doon sa second term ng ating conjugate binomial. So negative square root of x squared minus 4 multiplied by positive square root of x squared minus 4, we have negative of the quantity x squared minus 4. So i-distribute natin yung negative sign doon sa terms na nasa loob ng parenthesis, and ang mangyayari is maka-cancel out or magiging 0 yung x squared. So x squared minus x squared is 0, and yung negative 4 magiging positive 4. And ang ginawa natin sa numerator is kinuha natin yung common factor doon sa dalawang terms. So ang common factor is 4x, and we factor that out. And as you can see, ang common factor or ang common numerical coefficient natin sa numerator and denominator is 4. So we can divide the entire numerator by 4, and we have our final answer as x multiplied by the quantity x plus square root of x squared minus 4. Okay. So sample problem number 3. Sa sample problem number 3, again, we are asked to transform the fraction by rationalizing the denominator. So again, we get the conjugate binomial para ma-rationalize yung ating denominator. So the first step is we inspect the numerator. I'm sorry, the denominator. We inspect the denominator, and we get the opposite operation. So sa denominator natin, ang operation is addition. So para makuha yung ating conjugate binomial, we get the subtraction. So this is our expression now. And we multiply the conjugate binomial sa numerator and denominator para ma-rationalize. And then we simplify by applying multiplication. So ganito siya, square root of a multiplied by square root of a is a, simply a. And then negative square root of a plus 1 multiplied by another negative square root of a plus 1 is positive a plus 1. And then kapag minultiply natin yung first term ng ating numerator doon sa second term ng ating conjugate binomial, which is negative square root of a plus 1. So ang mangyayari is negative square root of a multiplied by square root of a plus 1. This is identical kapag minultiply naman natin yung ating second term sa numerator doon sa first term ng ating conjugate binomial, which is square root of a. So that explains kung bakit negative 2 square root of a plus 1. Kasi identical lang yung lalabas kapag minultiply yung first term ng numerator sa second term ng conjugate binomial, tapos yung second term ng ating numerator sa first term ng ating conjugate binomial. And then we apply multiplication as well sa denominator. So again, ang gagawin na lang natin dito is we multiply the first term of the denominator sa first term ng ating conjugate binomial. And next is we multiply the second term of our denominator sa second term ng ating conjugate binomial. So ito yung kalalabasan niya. So bakit natin in-skip in particular yung multiplication ng first term ng denominator tsaka yung second term ng conjugate binomial, tapos yung multiplication ng second term ng ating denominator at yung first term ng conjugate binomial. Actually, kapag sinulat natin yung sagot, magre-repel sila, meaning it will be canceled out. Kasi square root of a multiplied by negative square root of a plus 1 is negative square root of a square root of a plus 1. And then, kapag minultiply naman natin yung second term ng ating denominator sa first term ng conjugate binomial, so that is simply the positive counterpart. So negative counterpart plus the positive counterpart, so magiging 0. And ito na lang yung matitira sa ating denominator. So that applies kapag ganito yung itsura ng ating ng ating minomultiply. Kapag same yung terms na involved, pero ang pinakaiba lang is yung isa nating binomial is addition, and yung isa nating binomial, ang operation is subtraction. And then we simplify this further. So meron tayong 2a minus 2 square root of a square root of a plus 1 plus 1. And then sa denominator, ang matitira na lang is negative 1. So, ang mangyayari dito is we divide the entire numerator by negative 1, and mare-reverse yung magiging iba yung operations kapag dinivide natin sa negative 1. So, the final answer is 2 square root of a square root of a plus 1 minus 2a minus 1. Okay, so that's the end of this tutorial video. I am Raymond Francis M. Manalo of the Philippine Institute of Civil Engineers Manuel L. Quezon University. So I am the president of PICE MLQU for the school year 2020-2021. So if you will have questions, you may contact me through my email, ultimate.craymond@yahoo.com. Our Facebook page link is facebook.com/PICEMLQUSC. Thank you.